Welcome everyone, today we'll have a new guide for Genshin Impact. And today we'll be looking into a tier list for 3.1. That's right, we'll be using tier lists from 2.8 and also we'll go through a number of tier lists and also different guides on the internet. We'll be looking into the tier list for 3.1. And I'll go through this tier list with you guys, which will be focused on Electro and also Hydro characters. Because upcoming 3.1 and also 3.2 will look into more Dendro reactions and aggravate, spread, boom. There's a lot of synergies that we can combine with the potential of those new characters. So this guide will focus on the possibility and usage of those Electro characters and how you combine them. And we'll take reference of different guides on the internet and how they work. And also, of course, we'll focus still on the usage of different constellation of characters. So I try to combine everything with you guys, but this guide will be forward-looking into some of the potential characters you can start to build now and also plan for your team for 3.1 and also 3.2 for the future banners and also characters with Dendro. Now, because I'll be referring to future characters, if you guys haven't seen our previous video, which I predicted the future banners from 3.1 to 3.3, definitely have a look. And also this video will take reference of the current buff to Hydro characters, which will boost the team's maximum HP by 25%. And this is going to be one of the highlights for some of the Hydro characters like Kokomi, some of the characters like Hu Tao, who will be in the Hydro team with two Hydro characters like, Xinqiu, and she will benefit from higher damage with higher HP. We'll talk about that and also the potential usage with more characters like Cadets over here. She is likely going to be scaled with HP. Now over here I do want to make a minor adjustment for the future characters for 3.1. So we're going to swap the two characters over here. And if you're asking me why, one of my viewers before I post the video, he's like, hey, this is not right, the tier list is not right, because the characters he's saying Nilou is going to be a 5-star and also Cadets is going to be a 4-star. So basically this theory is reversed. Now Nilou is probably going to scale with HP and she's going to be a stronger 5-star because I haven't looked into the future characters, right? So that's why my tier list was a little incorrect, because I thought the Cadets will be a 5-star and Nilou will be a 4-star. But it turns out he said, trust me on this, Matt, Nilou is going to be a 5-star. So the assumption is that Nilou will have a scaling to HP, and this scaling to HP, probably similar to Kokomi, will be very powerful with Hydro synergy and the whole concept of, the combination of Hydro, Dendro, and also, Electro characters will still work very powerfully with the new 5-star with Nilou and also Sayo. I just want to make a small correction. I was like, oh my gosh, I made the tier list wrong. So I adjust the video a little bit accordingly. So there's a lot of character potential that is coming with 3.1 and also with the current characters. I'll be referring to several guides on the internet, including one from Genshin Gamer, who mentioned a lot about the Electro characters and also some of the Dendro characters and also Nemo characters. We'll also go through a number of tier lists from the community and also some fun ones, because I was looking for tier lists and also reference, and there's a really fun lore tier list with archons and also different characters. And we also have a cooking tier list. I'll show you guys those at the end of the video. So now coming over to my future 3.1 tier list for characters. Right away, you can see that we have Sayo, we have the Electro Archon Raiden Shogun, Keqing, and also Yan Miko. Now, one of the biggest reasons I'm ranking the Electro characters quite highly is that we know Sayo will be coming, and if we come over here to some of the online guide for the Dendro synergies, we can see that Electro plus Hydro, there is a number of existing elemental reactions with Electro Charge, with Catalyst, and also Aggravate with the whole synergies. And what is the focus of the future characters is that they will work with Dendro, because the marketing perspective and also the gameplay perspective, Electro, Hydro, and also Pyro characters are the only three synergies that will work with Dendro. And we haven't got to the Dendro Archon yet. The Dendro Archon is likely going to come with 3.2. If you have seen this video, we talk about that. So that's why we're mainly focusing on set of characters. But knowing that we can only have a certain synergies on the team. So what that means is, if you're going with Electro and also Hydro, likely you won't go with Pyro. You won't have 3 elemental synergies that work with Dendro. You probably have 2 of those. Or if you go with Hydro and also, Pyro, or if you go with Pyro or Electro, you probably won't have all 3. The more focus of this guide will be preparing for 3.1, and those characters are mainly focused on the Electro and also Hydro. We'll briefly talk about the synergies with Pyro as well, because characters like Hu Tao can be very powerful. As in terms of characters, I haven't looked into Sayo's skills. I'm waiting for the official release of his skills and also combination. But from this video from Genshin Gamer and also the explanation, you can see a lot of Dendro characters, Vessel, Raiden Shogun, Kachin, they are working wonderfully with the current synergy of Dendro and aggravate and also reactions with Hydro for Electro Charge. Those characters can be very powerful, and that's why I have listed the top 3, I guess, characters. I won't say Yamiko will be the top, maybe I'll put her over here. So I'll say the top 3 upcoming 3.1 characters will be Sayo, Raiden Shogun, and also Kachin. And 2 of them are likely going to be poem characters. We know there's one poem, one-hand sword, and Sayo is likely going to be a poem character. So to prepare for 3.1, maybe looking into a poem, if you do have a 5-star poem, and if you have any of those Electro characters, that'll be really good. And yes, the focus will be having at least 1 or 2 Dendro characters on the team for different synergies with Electro characters. Now, as for the Hydro characters, we know Cadets will be coming, and she is likely going to be a 5-star, character that is going to be very powerful. The assumption is that knowing her visual and also she might scale with HP. We know that there is a Hydro buff with 25% scaling of HP, and this means having 2 characters, maybe Cadets, maybe Kokomi, who both scales with HP, and then having the the Dendro characters and also Electro characters, this can be very powerful, and this can be a Hydro main team that will be very powerful in 3.1. And that's why I'm ranking her on the S tier, not the top tier, because I'm not sure how strong she will scale with the skills. I haven't seen her kit, but I'm assuming that she's quite strong. Someone like Kokomi is seeing a bit of buff, and with the healing and also the continuous, her little jellyfish with the Dendro reactions, she is quite powerful as of the patch 3.0. And what I can see is, in the future, she can be one of the 2 Hydro characters that will provide the 25% Hydro buff. And this will be very powerful for characters like Hu Tao, for characters that uses the Vaporize synergy and scales off HP. Characters like Zhongli can also scale off HP. And this is what I do want to bring over to the 2.8 tier list from Unisensei. And he is a Chinese Bilibili streamer. I do have the link to his channel over here if you guys do want to have a look. He haven't updated for the latest tier list, but what is very useful for his current tier list is that he actually focused on the usage of characters at different constellations. Now, keep in mind, this tier list is a little out of date, so use this as a brief reference. Let's say if you have someone like, if you have someone like Ganyu, you can see the 0 up here. This 0 means she's a top tier Chinese meta character even with 0 constellations. So someone like Raiden Shogun is a top tier DPS character with 2 constellations. So someone like Bennett is a top tier support with 1 constellation. Kazuha is working with 0 constellations and Zhongli with 0 constellations. So this actually gives you a reference of how many constellations of characters becomes viable. So this is the main DPS category, this is the sub DPS category, supporting characters and also healing and also defensive characters. So the characters over here will boost the damage, the characters over here will provide survivability and also healing. You can see characters like Bennett will take multiple slots, and you do want a character that can exist in multiple slots. So Bennett is definitely one of them, and if we come over to my tier list, so what I do recommend is, once you decide to pick the characters, you can still come over to this tier list to look at the constellations and look at the position of the characters. Now, in terms of the top supporting characters for the future patches and also current patch, the top 3 supporting characters are still for me Bennett, Vessel, and also Xinqiu. Bennett, as we know it, increase the damage, team heal, AoE heals, and also the Pyro synergies and resonance is actually really powerful. 2 Pyro increase attack, and also Pyro also works with Dendro. With Vessel, with a buff of Electro characters, and some of you might have her to Constellation 6, she is also very powerful with Oz on the field. And similarly with Xinqiu, he is consistent with a Hydro debuff, and this will work with Dendro and also works wonderfully with Hu Tao. Now, I have seen some of the viewers, saying that combinations like, the scaling of HP boost with Hu Tao with 2 Hydro characters, and one of the best Hydro character with Hu Tao will be Xinqiu. Each time she attack under her special E buff, Xinqiu will also have his burst ultimate and also his ring of sword, and this allows you to non-stop deals the Hydro and also Pyro damage for Vaporize. Together, combined with any of the Dendro characters, this can be very powerful. So I do think a list of characters over here will be quite highly valued for the future patches. And if you're planning to invest in any of the supporting characters or any of the 5 stars, those is definitely recommended for the future patch. Now, of course, we know Dendro characters doesn't work with Anemo characters, but characters like Kazuha will still increase your other elements damage. including Hydro, Electro, and also, and also Pyle. So characters like Kazuha, characters like, Sakuras over here, and also Venti, those Anemo characters will still boost your team's damage. And this is why I still have Anemo characters. You can see that I haven't been adding a lot of Cryo characters, Geo characters, and not many, Pyle characters. It's not that the Pyle characters are not good, but I think the major focus of the next patch will be focused on Electro and also Hydro. And we can see from the character teasers, there's no characters of the other element. But with 3.2, if you have seen this prediction video, we talk about 3.2, likely will have a new character Dia, who is going to be Hydro. And the shift of the meta will probably go into Hydro. Not Hydro. The shift, Dia is actually Pyle. So the shift of the meta will probably go to Dia with Pyle. My brain just went silly. It's like Hydro, Pyle City. Now finally, in terms of characters of interest and new characters that is on the lookout for, the Dendro Traveler is definitely one of them. The Dendro Traveler is one of the characters that we can achieve to 6 constellation. And once we get him or her to 6 constellation, I think he will be on par with any of the supporting characters. So we have the 4 top tier support to substitute in any of the team for your synergies. So it depends how your team want to react. Do you want to go with 2 Hydro, 2 Pyro, or 2 Electro? And you can also go with 2 Dendro for those supporting characters. Now, as for the final 3 new characters who are 4-star joining with 3.0, 3.1, and likely future 4-star characters like Nilu, Hydro, and also we have the the Dendro and also Electro characters. I'm listing those characters there merely as a reference for those characters. I'm not sure about their strength and also potentials on the team, because if you look at alternatives, you can have a Sally who is not Constitution 6 versus a Dendro Traveler who is going to be Constitution 6. So although we have the new 4-star characters who are very fancy and very cute, unless we have them to high constellations, we do have a list of alternative placement of supporting characters. So keep in mind, I'm not saying you shouldn't play those characters. I think they are quite enjoyable, especially the new characters and also synergies, right? If you want 2 Dendro, you can still go with the 2 Dendro characters. And that still works, especially with someone like me who doesn't have Tenari. So those synergies still work. But the top preference for the upcoming banners will be those characters for me. I am skipping a little bit of the pirate characters like the Luke, like Yumiya, like Klee, but keep in mind guys, in 3.2, the pirate characters will get a rise because of Dia, who is going to be a pirate character, likely coming with Electro Archon. No, Electro Archon, Dendro Archon, I keep mixing them. So yes, here I predict the Dendro Archon will be coming probably first banner, and the second banner is probably going to be Dia, who is going to be Pyle. And this will complete the entire synergy for Dendro, which is going to be Pyle, Hydro, and also Electro for the future banners. Now, before we finish the video, we also will have a quick look at some of the tier lists from the community. Now, let me know if you guys agree with this. So this is a tier list from Pizza Head, and this is a tier list about the characters who are based on the lore. You can see the Archons, and then you can see the Traveler. I do think the Traveler is probably on the top of the lore, right? With the Archons. And you can see Xiao, Ganyu, and also Chao. There's a few characters that tend to appear more often than other characters. I do believe there's, a few of the other characters like, Kazuha, maybe Bidu, and maybe Negon, who is actually appearing a lot more often than other characters. So I'll probably shift those characters up for the lore. As in terms of the cooking tier list, and this one is from Zeta Save, and the cooking tier list is it's gonna be Xiaoling and also Noelle. I do think Xiaoling is probably the best cooker, and she has the chance of multiple items for the attack items, and also she is, by the lore, she's a popular cooker, right? And also Jin's Pizza. So let me know what you think about the cooking characters in the in the ranking. And where's Paimon? And Paimon should be top of the tier list, right? As a food. So just a few of the fun tier lists I found along the way as I was looking for new tier lists, and also resource to look into preparing for new characters for the future patch. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips, and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with Genshin and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.